What's going on, everybody? So, if this is your first time checking out my channel, or if it's been a while, let me remind you of who this beautiful specimen in front of you is. And his name is Ipkiss. He's roughly 5 to 6 years old, and he is about 5'3" to 5'6", somewhere around there. And he is a northern emerald tree boa. So, as you can see, he's fairly docile. A lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people use the emerald tree boas as display animals because they can be overly defensive at times. Sometimes people have extremely docile animals, but as you can see, I am able to hold him. He is extremely docile. Every once in a while, he'll have a little bit of a bad day and he might take a swipe at me, but it's always very half-assed. He never swipes at me with much conviction. It's usually, So, he did get me once. Didn't feel that great, but I lived. So, if you are new to my channel, or new to this guy in general, I'm going to put him back while I talk, so you guys can see a better view where I'm not holding him and the camera's zoomed in a bunch. So, if you're new to my channel or new to this guy right here, you'll know that he did not eat for, well, I'm sorry, I should say he refused food for 14 straight months. I did, unfortunately, have to force feed him a couple times. Now, I do not recommend doing that unless it is an absolute last resort. I didn't do it for about 8 or 9 months. I waited because even though he had been off food all that time, he really wasn't losing much weight. So he was taken to the vet on 2 separate occasions. He was tested for quite a bit of different possibilities, and he did not have anything. My vet, I was extremely lucky to find my vet, as I'm sure a lot of you know, because he was a herpetologist for about 15 years, studying mostly anacondas and various boa species in South America, but also some work overseas with some of the big python species as well. And he's an avid collector, in addition to being in the field. So I think he's got around 80 to 90 boas, and that includes the anacondas. And I believe he has 7 northern emerald tree boas and 8, or I don't remember the exact number, but it's around 7 of each, the other being the Amazon basin. He breeds on occasion. But I was really lucky to find him. He's used by every major zoo in the area, for all the big constrictors and pretty much all the snakes in general. So he was a great find. I really lucked out. But he assured me that everything that I was doing was correct. My temperatures, my humidity, the light cycling, everything. And when I tell you I tried a shit ton of different food options, I tried a motherfucking plethora. Every single thing I'm about to list, I tried frozen, thawed, and live. So he previously, with his old owner, was on, I believe it was weaned rats every 4 weeks. So I tried weaned rats, live and frozen, thawed. I tried adult mice. I tried rat pups. I tried small rats, very, very small ones. I tried quail, chick, ASF rats in all those sizes, and I believe a gerbil or guinea pig, and I don't remember which one, and a type of bird. So a friend of mine on Facebook, Socrates, was also a massive help. He's also an avid collector. He has a ton of Amazon basin and emerald tree boas, and he helped me out a lot as well. So it was starting to get a little frustrating, but despite the fact that he was off food that much time, he really didn't lose all that much weight. As you can see, he's a little on the thin side still, but he's only had 3 meals. So I got him this new cage, which, as you can see, has some pretty good size to it. It's got 4 different levels for him, and ever since moving him into here, he has been eating no problem. So something with the old cage. I mean, like I said, I spoke with multiple people who assured me that my husbandry was where it needed to be, so maybe he just needed something a little bit bigger. I don't know, but I am ecstatic that he's eating again. I believe tomorrow is his 4th meal. I've been doing weaned rats every 2 weeks, trying to get some weight back on him. I don't want to rush it, even though he didn't eat for that amount of time. I am not going to rush and power feed just to get him back up to weight. That's extremely dangerous. So I'm just feeding him a couple weeks earlier for a few months, and then I'm going to switch it to every 3 weeks, and then eventually back up to every 4 weeks. So he's, as you can see, very docile. I really lucked out again with him. He's a big sweetheart. So if you guys have any questions about him, feel free to let me know in the comment section. Keep an eye out for a feeding video. Should be coming up any day now. And as always, guys, thank you so much. And I do want to say that eventually I want a bigger cage than this. This is about 5 feet tall, 2.5 feet wide by 2.5 feet deep. There is a very high layer of substrate that comes up to about here. So it's probably only about 4'4", I don't know. But he's really active at night. During the day, he usually sits either here or here. But at nighttime, he crawls all over the place. He's very, very active. I recently just got my second shed with him as well, so he's starting to look much, much healthier. And I'm just very, very happy that persistence paid off with this guy, and he's going to be thriving. But eventually, what I want to do is get a polydarium. I hope I said that right. I would like the enclosure portion to be probably about 5 feet tall, 4 feet wide, and 2 to 3 feet front to back with an aquarium at the bottom. And what I'd like to do is, actually I probably would do 3 feet front to back, and I would probably do from the back forward about 2 feet, I would do a false floor. So there would be actual ground space down here for the snake to sit on if he did, because he does come down here. So there'd be at least 2 or 3 feet on the floor for him to sit down there, and then the last foot would be the opening to the aquarium below. So pretend this is a much larger enclosure. This area right here would be the aquarium, and then up here would be his cage. So I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to do that. It's probably going to be a little while, because you know, gotta get a bigger house, and the anaconda is gonna get a 16-foot cage eventually. So there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done. So right now I'm just focused on getting him as healthy as I can, but eventually he's going to have something even better than this enclosure. But I'm very, very happy with this enclosure. It took Animal Plastics 11 months to get my enclosures to me, and I got a 3x2x2 for him, and I'm so glad that I found this instead, because it's much better and he seems to really enjoy it. So I'm going to let him go to sleep. Well, he's not going to be asleep. I'm going to go to sleep, and keep an eye out tomorrow for a feeding video. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support, and don't forget to like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff, and be safe. Say goodnight, Ipkiss. Smoking.